All right, I got my buddy Peter.
Hi.
One of us cracked the code. It was funny, I had all these people that were, wanting to participate, and then I didn't know how to like actually include them. So the more you know, the more you learn. So Peter, what brought you to the event tonight?
um, you did. You said you better be here, and so here I am.
I would never. Peter is an amazingly gifted moderator, and he actually helped me. I want to say it was 5 years ago that you
Oh my
moderated
God,
that
was it that
event.
long ago? Wow.
That's nuts. I don't think I've published anything on YouTube since that time. I'm everywhere else. I'm on all the other social medias. Do you think I should get back into to some videos?
I don't know. I see you on every social media platform there is. So I thought you were everywhere.
So yeah, it's a journey, it's not a destination. So okay, so tell me about your work. How are you, and keep it confidential. Remember, you don't necessarily need to disclose who you work for, what kind of work you're doing, but I assume you're a clinical researcher. Um,
I Yes.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear maybe how things have changed negatively, but more specifically, what are the opportunities for you in the last 6 to 8 weeks? How has your life changed?
Well, so it's been crazy like everybody else. Our company has actually, I think, handled it pretty well. We were able to pivot pretty quickly. We didn't stop any of our trials. We've continued to enroll subjects. We've moved to I think the biggest challenge was coming up with a direct-to-patient drug shipment process, which we were able to develop and implement pretty quickly. We are still working with figuring out the monitoring part of things because we do both CRO monitoring as well as having our own monitors, and so we're still trying to figure out how to best remote monitor sites, and that includes some parts of the monitoring are easy, not as challenging, I should say, with the situation, query resolution, things like that. But obviously, SDV is a challenge, and so we're still working that out. But looking at a few technology solutions that hopefully could help us with that. So it's been, I think the hardest part has just been everyone working from home. I have two young daughters and my wife, and so it's been all of us locked in a house together for a month has been challenging. Trying to be both of us working full time and trying to also be full time parents at the same time is not what I expected, but we're making it work.
Peter, is everybody safe and well?
Everybody is safe and well, and the great news is we have enough toilet paper, so we're good.
Follow-up question. You just took it right
And no,
from
you
me.
can't have any. I'm not sharing. No.
I saw a YouTube video. Somebody had their dog like jumping over the toilet paper. They're using it. So
Oh
I'd
yeah.
like to get some for my agility training if you have some that you just want to donate. But I wanted to kind of return back to something you said because I heard you talk about your family. And I actually don't have small children, which has been helpful because this isn't a huge interruption for me. It's just like,
But
oh,
you have small dogs,
yeah,
and
but
that's sort of the
you can
same
put them in
thing.
cages, which I understand is not okay. We can unpack that a little bit more. No.
Everything is fair game these days.
Yes, I would love to hear. Did you put your children on a schedule, or what's been working with being in, I don't know, 8 places at once? What any tips or tricks for parents?
We are probably not the people for tips and tricks. No, actually, it's been okay for our older daughter who's in middle school, and she's been really good about actually doing her own work and keeping up with things. It's a little harder with the kindergartner, just having her stay focused and doing things. I think, I read a good article the other day that was talking about parents have to, I think, not feel guilty about things that are going on or about how we're parenting these days. We're doing the best we can, and don't be hard on yourself, or if you feel like you're not, we all get. I mean, as parents, you probably haven't recognized or gotten into this, but on I get emails and Facebook posts and articles about, oh, this is a great time to be with your child and enjoy these blessed days, and make the most of it. And we're just trying to get through the day with them getting out of pajamas maybe at one point. With it's not we just do the best we can, try and keep them not killing each other or us, and maybe if they learn something in the meanwhile, that's great. So I think it's just really, I think the biggest tip is just don't be so hard. Don't be hard on yourself as a parent, because we're all going through the same thing.
Well, like you said, I don't have that on my news feed specifically, but I think you're touching on something that actually appeals to everybody in this group. And you guys can chime in on the chat if I'm saying something that makes sense here. But Peter, like you're talking about self-compassion towards yourself. You're saying, I'm going to allow myself just to exist, to understand what's happening, and maybe I save that reaction for when it makes sense, like when you can actually like break. And but I think we have to be compassionate also about like maybe we're not being our best selves right now. Like maybe I don't have the emotional capacity to go out and do all the projects I had on my plate before COVID, because I actually have less project slots available because of the emotional requirements of this world right
Yeah.
now. And I don't know if people think of emotions as a project, but it's a really valuable way to give yourself permission to just be like, "Oh, this is actually a lot." And I give myself permission to not do as much as I would normally do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. When this started, when people started working from home, I saw a lot of articles about, oh, I work from home all the time, and so here's what you do. Here, work from home is great, but it's not normal working from home. It's just just to your point, there are all these other concerns and thoughts that people are having, and the kids and just the world in general and politics and everything. So it's not, I think the rules of what it's like to work from home don't necessarily apply either. I mean, that's why I say I think we're all trying to find our own way and trying to figure out how to make it work.
Can we get real though? If somebody is on social media saying, "Here's what works for me, you should do this," like that should, like the minute you get that should, that's like a shame should.
Hmm.
It's almost like you're saying, "I'm better, I have it all figured out." I think we need to be more compassionate about the way we speak to others right now. And it's okay to say, like, this is working for me. I've found relief in this particular activity, or I've found this useful. But I wouldn't throw that at people and say, like, you should be doing this, or your kids should be, studying 8 hours a day. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we have to be really guarded
Yeah,
and not
absolutely.
be cruel to others who may be struggling in ways that we don't even understand.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about, it's interesting. I mean, in our industry, we work in my company. We work with pediatric invitations and kids who are pretty sick, and have all sorts of other things going on. And you think about, um, uh, even those situations where the parents normally have kids have a whole circle of caregivers that are helping them out, social workers and physicians and schools and playmates and all that, who are all play their part. And none of that is available right now, or very limited. So we all have incredibly difficult situations, that we're having to deal with. um, Toilet paper missing is the least of our the least of the problems. It's so it's yeah it's and the other thing is, it's not like you can say, well, just one more week and we're done with it, because we still have no idea when it's going to be over. And that, I think, that's also adds to that weight on everybody about, we just, nobody know no you can't plan anything, can't even really make plans to, oh, this will be great when this is done, let's plan for going to this in May. Well, you just can't do that right now. We have no
Well,
idea.
I'm gonna be honest here, you're kinda tapping onto something. In my community, I said to people, "I wanna do a virtual coffee. What topic do you wanna talk about?" And I was kinda hoping they would pick anything else, because I wanted to plan around things.
What a
Yeah,
sister.
I wanted to have some control, right? And so this feels like really volatile and I've actually seen people in the group kind of turning against each other and being cruel in a way that I've
Yeah.
never seen. And so it's
Yeah.
disappointing as a moderator, but I'm also trying to, understand where people are at and not judge, right? And just say, okay, this is an opportunity for me to step up and be a better leader and define what are group guidelines. And that's where that kind of came from because we just want to be really fair at all times. I
Yeah.
never created a space so that people could do anything other than support each other. Um, I did want to talk about some positive stuff. So, if you're okay for like one
Please.
more question, one of the things I'd
Go
love
for
to
it.
do with you that we've done before is the crystal ball exercise. So, if you could, in however this makes sense, look into the future and talk to me
Mm.
about like how will you show up differently? Because I think a lot of times people say like after this the industry needs to change in the following ways, but I'm just wondering, are you already seeing that you might be changed or you might approach your work differently in the after, whatever that looks like,
Well, I found that not wearing pants is really
right?
nice, so I might keep doing that. I don't know, but maybe not. Um, no, I mean it's funny. Actually, I just on a side note at our company, we're having on this week we're doing a virtual get together, and the requirements are that everyone has to get very dressed up from the waist up.
Amazing.
So this is yeah, we're having a formal get together from the waist up, which I think is great. No, I think one thing, one positive that comes from it is working remotely. I mean, people are, and not just my company, but I mean, we've my company has been pretty good about people being flexible. But for example, my wife, they were never allowed to work remotely. They were always told, oh, it can't be done. You can't work from home. We can't make it work. Well, it's going to be really hard to go back to them saying, or any company saying, employees can no longer work from home, when for a month or two now they've made it work, and it's worked out, and business has continued. So I think that's a positive that comes from it. I think people just will approach work and how we get our work done, and using technology to the best of its ability, from now on, differently. And I mean, hopefully, also, obviously, appreciate when we are together. Appreciate the times when we aren't together in the office, and take the time to to be kind to each other, and just sit and chat with each other face to face rather than over a glass screen. Those are things that I hope
Yeah, it's
will
been
come
a
from it.
while since you and I grabbed an actual coffee. But I might
Yeah.
challenge you on that. I actually feel like we can still have very authentic connections. It's not as awesome, right, to have the screen, but I feel like there's been an opportunity for me to be closer to some friends and have very real conversations. So much of what I say to people is transactional, and to actually have like real conversations about our feelings and what we're going through, I found it to be a real gift, and it's brought me closer to people that I wasn't as close with before the crisis. So those are my friends, but I'm excited about taking those relationships forward
Yeah.
and just attaching. I think we just have so many choices on the menu. I kind of started the conversation earlier about choices on the menu. And I think as people and consumers, we probably have to take away some of the complexity to really see what matters to us.
Hmm.
And that's why I said like it's all on the menu, but like you get to pick what you attach to and what's useful and leave the rest behind. So.
You've said menu 3 times now. Are you
It's a
hungry? Did you
cafe,
not
it's
get
got
it
like a menu, it's a theme
yet?
thing, so,
Okay,
now you
I
get
get
it.
it.
You're
I
like,
get it.
"Oh, I get
Got
it. Yeah, menu." Um, well, I'd love to end our
it.
conversation today with, like, a call to action and next steps. So, I'm always interested in coming up with, like, a challenge, something that people can do in 10 minutes or less, but they can do it over the next week. So, I'm really putting you on the spot here, and I didn't prepare anything either. So, let's try to
Hmm.
come up with for everyone who's watching the replay, everybody who's in the chat now, and guys, if you have challenges in the chat,
Yeah,
just type them in, and Peter and I will steal them because we're just trying to like rack our brain right now. But one small thing
absolutely.
that people can actually do and measure this week that you think will have a positive impact on their attitude and the way that they show up for their family and their coworkers. What do you think? Give them a challenge.
I mean, I think, what I've done, I think, and I haven't done it enough is, reaching out to people, who you haven't been in touch with in a while, and just seeing, saying hi, see how they're doing. I mean, have more than just a Facebook post to the general world. Pick up the phone, talk on the video, whatever it is, and someone that you haven't talked with in a long time, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, and out of the blue say, hi, how are you doing?
Oh,
And
that one's
just
so
was
good.
thinking of you.
And since you stole mine, I think I'll just make up.
I did.
Go to LinkedIn. Anybody who has a LinkedIn profile, feel free to, follow and connect with me. I would love, thank you for supporting me in this. I'd love to connect with you there. But if there's somebody in your network who you're grateful to, just take a look at your connections. I'm getting a little journal. It's time for me to journal, Peter. I have to go. It popped up. Um, find somebody who maybe you had forgotten, like a lost connection. Or, gosh, it's been so long. And there's actually a button. If you go to their profile, there's like three little ellipses. I'll put a graphic of this in the Facebook group so people know where to find it. I want you to take this challenge and I want you to repost. You can actually give kudos to someone. So I think there's 5 or 6 different ways that you can provide kudos. It
Mm.
could be to a teammate who's helped you. It could be a boss that you're grateful to. It could be, just thanks for being you. I think I've done this maybe 4 or 5 times in the last 6 months, and I don't see why I'm not doing this all the time. So find somebody in your network, send them a positive message in public on LinkedIn. You won't die. They will be grateful. And I think we should just blow up LinkedIn with like kudos to each other. And if you want to go ahead and hashtag that with pound GCP Cafe, you know, it'll let people know that you're doing this on behalf of this campaign. But don't feel like you have to. The most important part is that you show gratitude towards others. And Selena is going to do it. So we'll look for you in the Facebook group. I'll create a thread, and we want to see who you're
Yay.
thanking. There's no limit to gratitude. You can just go for it. So thanks, Peter, for helping me. I
Great
just made that
idea.
up because you stole mine.
Sure. Good to see you. Sure. And it's great seeing the new
Yeah,
house
we haven't
or the
unpacked yet,
wall in the
so
new house
there's
there.
a lot. I could
I
probably
see
clean
that.
up my background.
That's that's my per, that's my
No,
personal
I don't
challenge
need
to
it.
you
I
is
have enough
unpack one
pressure.
box.
Why are you so judgy? We talked about this. Do what feels right for you and let me just live in squalor. Okay?
Oh,
But I'm really
fine.
excited that you
All
showed
right.
up, and thank you everybody for participating in the chat and the polls. I'm actually okay to stay on until 6:30, so I'm probably going to pop over to networking for about 5 to 6 minutes. If anyone wants to pop into networking, it's a one-to-one experience. It's not recorded, and we can exchange information. And then I'm going to come back here into the session, and I'm pretty sure that I'm the reason no one else is on the screen because I don't know how the moderation panel works. Um, but I'm going to refresh my browser and learn so that next time I come in, I can actually have like a whole bunch of people on the screen. We still have 8 people in the room, so let's keep going. And Peter, if you need to drop, you were
Will do.
awesome. Thank
Bye.
you.